Okay, so I think it's about 2:45 or so. Oh yeah, it is. 'Cause this clock on this TV is 2 hours fast and it says 4:43. So the 4:43 on the 4th. 4434 or 4443. 2, 4, which the twos break down the four, so it'd actually be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. If you go on the number thing. So, anyways, that's just a little, I don't know. The numbers can fuck with your head. And people get really into the numbers. Like, I have the numbers in communication and stuff. But, yeah, to me, I don't know. It shows that the day is kind of like in alignment. But the 3 throws it. Oh, hell. I swear to God, when they do that, now it's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And it changed right when I was talking about it. That is, that's a sign when they do that. Like when you're questioning something and it flips the time. So how I read that is that, yeah, things are coming into alignment, but it is so fucking uncomfortable. Oh my God, yesterday I was like, some of these days I am so in my head, just like, what in the holy hell is going on? Like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. When you're talking to somebody in another reality, it is crazy. And there's added craziness to it. You know, it's not just one level of crazy. It is a reflective back to show you, and I don't know, you know, it's my own thing that I'm picking up, is this like, this devalue, like I don't hold real value. Like my opinions, what I think, what I say has no value to people that in my physical. And then it is also the um it's like this form of no respect. It's like, and then, you know, you can go through and question it, like, you know, was I, you know, so horrible that everybody in the whole world lost respect for me or something, you know, at my bad times. And I'm not even gonna, because the bad times are supposed to happen, and everything that accumulates to create them is what is supposed to occur. You're supposed to go through that. You wouldn't go through it if you weren't supposed to. And it also, it's just, like, there's so many people who aren't spiritually awake, like, that don't have a fucking clue about, and it doesn't seem like this stuff is so obvious to me. It's so crystal clear to me. And so it's weird. You know, you're looking at something that is bright and crystal clear, and then you tell, and then it's like all anybody else sees is a muddy mess. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you looking at? Like crazy? It's like, yeah, but it's just right there. And it's not for everybody. And I know this awakening thing, it has to do with their timing and stuff. But all of the things that we go through in these interactions has to do with our lessons and karmic ties and stuff, you know, things playing out that are above our pay grade, you know, because there's things playing out all the time that we don't understand. Where I think you gain understanding is after when you look back and you start going like, man, if I didn't have that happen, I wouldn't be like this. If I wouldn't have that happen, I wouldn't be like this. And then you start realizing, like, fuck, man, all those things that happened to me made me grow. I became more profound. I became more adult. I became more mature. I became more deep. I became more understanding. I became more compassionate. I gained from the things that I went through. Then you start, to me, it's such a jump to go from life is happening to you to life is happening for you. But when you take that leap, it changes everything. And then you start realizing, like, these things are happening for me to gain, for me to grow. And therefore, and that's when you can start putting it together about fate and destiny and understanding, that every single person that comes into your orbit, every interaction is meant to occur. And, some of the things here, it's like, whoa, like there's been just so many things that I have seen that I wouldn't have seen if I wasn't here. Just like I said, if I wouldn't have had to go through that 5 days of heavy pressure to get out of that house, I wouldn't see these certain sides of myself. And so it's the same thing everywhere you go. And it depends on what your awareness is or what your experience is about or whatever. It has to do with you, because they can all be different, like in this experience, I'm seeing so much, man. It's like, I think it's exhausting. My mind just keeps being like, what the fuck? It's so crazy. Like, like unjust things around here. So, the news is on all the time. And I mean, sometimes church stuff is on, but mainly news all the time. So sometimes she'll put on a show or a movie, but I mean, I think that's been like twice since I've been here. But I mean, I don't know her regular thing. There's a lot going on, and that's the thing too. It's like you have these people who are super religious, but everything is stressing them out. It's like you're supposed to be the most connected to God. And you shouldn't be stressed. This stuff shouldn't be stressing you out. You should be able to observe. You should be able to witness. You should be able to comprehend, to understand, like all the different souls things playing out and stuff. It's weird. I don't know. It's just so weird. Like there's so many things. Just like what? It's like so much of this fucking bullshit about going against human rights is, and it's so accepted. So yeah, that's good. No, that's what we got to do. No, where is the trigger in you? Where is like the people who go around claiming to be the most moral should be able to be like that. Should be always on board. They should feel it, but it's not really on board. It's dialed by a sect of our collective, and it's a sect that is sect in the SECT, like a sector, a group, a mass program, and those people are guided by the program, and they are led to believe through their ego that it's weird because it's just so all this stuff is so off. And it is weird too because at home I was questioning like, how's this gonna work? The awakening for the religious people, which right now they got the churches falling apart, like, and then how things turn. Okay, so Elon, he's going against the Lutheran Church now, the Catholic Church, like all these different ones are getting in trouble and mishandling the money, involved in the traffic problems, which people haven't even gotten to the harvest yet. Like once they get to that, and there's more people finding teeth in their fucking McDonald's. I've seen 3 videos now, and people haven't even gotten, much less to the harvest, to the consumption. And I mean, it turns my stomach, like, I mean, I'm definitely to this point where, I'm not vegan because I eat butter, like, but I believe that we're supposed to, if we want to have butter and milk and stuff, it's because we take care of that animal. It provides back and we provide back and forth. Right now, we have this weird system that has everything off. But so I don't believe like in veganism or whatever. But I think everything's shifting in our consumption. I think everything. But it's just weird because if you say stuff about meat eaters and stuff like that, it's just like, well, that's just the way it is. That's just what I like to eat. It's like, well, there's a part of you that's going to suddenly click on and called compassion and respect for the living and respect for other living beings. And everything is alive, is a living being. And it's just, it gets trippy when you're talking to people who think that they are God's chosen, and they are so off from your belief, your morals, your ethic. Like, it's so weird, man. And so, but one of the things was, you know, the news, everything the news says is for real, for real, for real. So, you know, when I'm passing through, I'll be like, so what's going on in the news? Anything happening? Oh no. So this Saturday, it was like, no, I think the news is just on repeat. They don't, you know, there's nothing going on the weekend. And I'm thinking, what? What? So I just mosey on back downstairs, and I'm sitting here probably rusting my hands from crocheting because they get so cramped up. So I'm then start looking on there, and I'm seeing, you know, plane crash, all this stuff going. And so she, her phone can't, it doesn't do TikToks anymore, whatever. It won't see them for a long while. So I just took snapshots of like another plane crash, you know, and then she said something. Well, that's not on the news. I go up close, and it's CBS News. This is their news. And then she was like, oh, it must be local. That's maybe why they're not. I said, yeah, maybe it's just because it's just happening. It's not on the national news yet or something. But see, it's not putting all this stuff on there. Still not. And so that was like questioning her, but she leans into the TV, to those people, the representatives on there. And that, you know, is going to bring up a lot of stuff in you. Like, and so then, so it's like, I'm not gonna argue. Like, there's shit going on. Like, there's crazy shit going on. There's fucking these happening. There's all sorts of stuff. Like, Nashville had another one of these at the mall over the weekend. And then I'm sure there's other places too. You know, you got to catch either a local news, somebody talking about it or whatever, and then they have so much censorship, you know. So, so it's just something that it comes to you because the universe wants you to know. So when something comes to you, it's like you'll see confirmation. And so then so on that, then it was, and I said, when I had mentioned something about the protest, and to me, I keep thinking, this is so ridiculous. All these people out on the streets and stuff flying their flags, which even gets crazier. You're in another country flying your flag, wanting to be a citizen of this one, but you're flying, like, where is the fucking common goddamn sense? And for another motherfucking thing, let's all get together at a big group. Well, why isn't the ICE there? I mean, y'all are all grouped up. It'd be real easy if that's what they're here to do, right? Just zip up to a protest, load them up, and take off. Take them down to the border. It's like, that's not what's going on. But this is the way, you know, humanity's playing this out. With no sense, it seems to me. Like, and I don't want to be judgmental or anything, but it's like, come on, man. What the fuck? Everybody's caught up in their emotions. Everybody's caught up in their bullshit. So anyways, my attitude towards the protest is like, this is mental. This is absolute mental. And there's so many going on all over the place. Huge ones. There was a huge one, like in Pasadena or something. It was fucking huge. I'm sure, like, inside some of these places that are close to the border have really huge ones. So, anyways, it was all these ones going on. So, yesterday, then I said something about and she's like, oh, that's not happening. I'm like, I see it live all day long. And I start walking down the stairs, I get my phone, and first thing that pops up, live, this huge protest. So I go up there and said, see, this is what's going on. There are these huge protests going on. And she's like, no, it's not. Why do you even believe this stuff? And I was like, what? It's live. Look, right here. It's live. This is happening right now. No, you don't know that. You're not there. That's not true. Just because it's that, why do you believe your phone? Gotta believe the bigger box, the one with the pretty people on there talking. Oh my God. So then I go start to walk away and go down. It's just like, okay, I don't know what this is just getting weird. And so then I start walking down, and the next video is another of the same protest from a totally different angle. So I take that up and I say, this is how you know, like, when things are real. This is live. It's another person at the same place, and it's different angle. Nope. No, I couldn't believe the resistance. I couldn't believe the walls. The fucking, oh, no, that's not. And then I'm like, why is this, like, so not true? Like, what the fuck? Is the news not talking about? Like, I'm so confused. And it just comes down to these realities that are based on control and vision and stuff. And it's just like, man, when you start breaking free and you just see the people, I mean, trying to converse with people who are in those traps and stuff, and it makes no sense. And I was just completely, just like, you know, I mean, I got to continue to be my own self. I can't conform and pretend like I'm 3D when I'm not. I can't do it. And, you know, I mean, and there's, you know, tons of, like, not understanding my connection. That's what trips me out, too. It trips me out so hard. Like, from the time I was a kid, and this, like, everyone getting so many flashes. I just, you know, trying to tell people, and then throughout my whole life and stuff. And now it's to this point, it's just, man, it's trippy. But, oh yeah, because then she was having nothing but problems with the internet and technology and stuff all day. And it's so frustrating. God, technology is so frustrating to people who grew up without it. And then you try and do it, and it's just constant. And you have the perspective of like, shit used to be easy. You just called somebody and God damn it. It's just like fucking bullshit, man. And they tell us, oh, this is easier, this is better. You may be able to convince these motherfuckers, but you're not convincing me, but bitch, like, fuck off with this shit. Used to be able to just call up, talk to another person, and like, this is some bullshit, man. And so, they can't pay enough people now. God, machines, the machines are taking care of it now. And so, anyways, her frustration in this one was her Bath and Body Works order wasn't going through. And I'm like, oh my God, I used to be hooked on that shit until, you know, you start seeing, you start understanding, and you start seeing who you're supporting, and it's like, fuck that. And then, and you know, that's why I quit paying my house payment and stuff. But no, people are like, oh, you gotta. So and then plus now over the past couple of years of finding out like that stuff isn't just like you're supporting a perv motherfucking sicko, but you are also consuming poison on purpose. Like that's all like fucking. And so once you see that stuff and stuff, it's seen, it's in it, it's me, you know, it's I see it, like. And then you talk to people who don't, and there's very, you know, like. And so, I think I really triggered her or something, because I was just like walking through the room, very much like, and it was, you know, short kind of thing, like, well, I'm having so much problems with my Bath and Body Works order, and it keeps going back and saying it won't put it in and stuff. And I said, oh God, that's so frustrating. Fucking technology's bullshit. And she said something about the place, and I said, oh, I quit ordering from them a long time ago. Once I saw who the hell that guy was, I stopped ordering. And I mean, I used to like fucking be like, I had so much of that shit. And I was hooked on it. Man, I loved it. I used so much of that on my skin. Oh God, I love that lotion. The cream. And it had, and the smells. Oh, I loved it. But then you find out like, oh, it's really bad for you. So, so the response to the, you know, once I saw how bad that person was, I was no way going to support them. Oh, well, you know, they got the best candles, so. This is what I'm talking about. What are we willing to give up for what we stand for? Like, yeah, I'm not gonna argue about it. It's like, you know, it said, let me think, because it was, well, they got the best candles. And I said, well, they're full of poison. Well, I like the smell of them better than I like the smell of, the cats or whatever. and then as I'm walking out, I'm just like, yeah, well, cancer's better than having bad smells. So then I come up and she's in her room on the phone and stuff. So I think she, and I used to do that all the time. I've grown out of that, but I used to do it all the time. I'm not judging anybody who does it. And I still have that initial impulse too, is when somebody says something that you don't agree with, you run and call somebody and, try and work it out and find somebody who thinks, like more like you or something. And so I used to do that all the time. And so that could be why I perceived it that way. But anyways, then I was like, I think I really triggered something. But I gotta be honest. I can't pretend like, oh yeah, Pathwater are the greatest. No, the guy's a fucking perv. He hangs out with pervs. They're fucking gross. They're a bunch of fucking freaks. They fucking eat kids. Like, fuck, no. I'm not supporting these motherfuckers. And then I did a TikTok, like, oh, my nose is itching. Oh, probably because it just drips and drips and drips. So it makes it tickle. So and then also you have a dark energy around that just fucks with you all the fucking time. Which I saw this other lady, this woman, and she's in the Caribbean, I think, and she said that ever since she was a kid, she's been able to see the other side. And but you see it like when she's looking out, she sees other beings and creatures around us all the time. And to me, mine is more hearing and the awareness, but I can see it, but it's more like I see it. It is I don't know, guys, it's shifted so much. Now I'm seeing stuff, but it used to be like I would see it more in my head, and then that's where I would be like, is this real? Is this real? But things kept showing me that they were real, the supernatural, the paranormal, and all that stuff. So, I was going through that for a long time because I lived in all these haunted houses and stuff, which I think lots of people do. But it changes when you have awareness of the energies around you that you can't see. And so so anyways, I had that awareness of this other world ever since I was a kid and trying to tell people and stuff. So anyways, what she said though, is she said that there was always all these beings around. She said, and some are huge, some are small, they're all different. And they all look different. They're all different looking. But that, and part of my thing too, is seeing everything that is there and seeing it as a living being. Like I just saw someone eating grasshopper sandwiches. That grossed me out as much as like eating raw burger. It's like those things were alive, out jumping around and stuff. And then, oh God, it was so, their whole meal. The woman was all impressed because they made grasshopper sandwiches because their meal was fried grasshoppers, toast, and eggs. Hard-boiled eggs, not, so, but, everybody eats different. I think that was in Africa. And everybody eats different, different places. But I can't eat bugs and stuff. I mean, I'm almost sticking with beans. I'm okay with beans and rice and cookies. I did make cookies yesterday. It felt so good, man. I felt like back to myself. But I forgot to put the vanilla in them. So I'm not quite. But anyways, it felt good to make the cookies. It was like, this feels more natural, feels more normal. So anyways, the grasshopper sandwiches, that was so, I can't do it. Oh, God. Just that goo that comes, oh, God. So, I'd rather stick to, but I can look at it like a grasshopper and stuff and see a living being. like spiders. I can look at something and see a living being. All the things. It's like, not so much gnats and flies. Gnats and flies, even though that they are, but it's not like an individual, which I don't even know if all the grasshoppers are an individual. It could be a hive kind of mind, like one being playing a whole pack or something. Like, I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of abilities to go and experience. So everything's on the table. And, yeah, it's like, yeah, there's an earth having its own experience. And we are a part of its experience. And then you go to the next step, and then they're having an experience. And you go to the next step, they're having an experience. So that's this, that's the vibrancy of it's like the like I've said, like this nucleus of reality and everything that bleeds out from it. And that's the radiation of all the energy and experiences and stuff. So, anyways, man, my brain feels flooded right now. So anyways, oh yeah, okay. So she was seeing, so she's seen this stuff all of her life. And also, like, if you see everything is alive throughout, like, how, like, I saw things as being alive and being intelligent beings and stuff that we need to have more respect for. That wasn't a part of, like, when you say that stuff to people and they're not in that same place, you always sound crazy. So, see, I've been crazy a long fucking time. But anyway, so this woman, she was saying that something's going on. She said that as of late, that there is really creepy things all around us. She said they are so fucking creepy and it's so fucking scary and they're everywhere. And what have I been saying about the fucking dark energy? And that one day I said I saw something in that tree that was just really creepy. And so I know, I at the other house especially, man, I was constantly saying I was seeing crazy shit all the fucking time. And so she was saying the same thing. So to me, it was like a confirmation. So there is more people who have the awareness of these other realms who are seeing, like, there's something weird and creepy going on. Just like the ones coming in, you know, yesterday, what was it? It was, one yelled, it said, it was another rude thing. It didn't say fucking cunt, but it was something like that. It was so fucking rude. And see, this is where, you know, like, we're kind of in this realm or something, like, where schizophrenia, it can happen, because they're like that, like, they fucking yell rude shit, man. And people have schizophrenia, that's what gets them. These fucking beings going around yelling at them, saying shit to them. Yeah, you're gonna fuck up. You're so stupid. And it drives them crazy. And then they go to the doctor and say, these fucking things won't shut the fuck up. And they say, it's all in your head. It's not really happening. It's like, that really fucks people up, man. And it gets them on medication, gets them crazy. So many people with schizophrenia and stuff start doing drugs and stuff. It's mental. It's like, we got to be telling them, yeah, it's real. You got to learn how the spiritual battle. You got to learn to tell them to get the fuck out of here, man. And right now, though, like, we're really surrounded. To me, it's like we've dropped the bubble gum in the dirt, and now we're trying to pull free from it. And the dirt is holding on. And so we've got all this fucking dark energy dirt, like, holding on, and you can see it holding on to people around you, man. They're holding it and keeping people in the dark, keeping people in ignorance, keeping people in their ego, keeping people in their hatefulness, keeping people in their division. And keep in mind, too, also, besides that they are taking down the church right before our eyes, that and all of this stuff, like he said, from now on, the churches aren't going to be tax-free. We're taxing those motherfuckers. They're making $13 trillion a year. They can give us a little bit back. And he goes, now they're going to tithe to the government. That's what Donald said. It's like, yeah, hell yeah. And because it is so elite, like, and then you got to go back to the church and the crown where it all began. And of course, they're going to make sure that they get what they want. And they're money fucking hoarders. They're not fucking there to help the needy. They don't give a fuck. They'll help you by stealing your goddamn kids and getting your organs taken. So fuck off with this shit, man. They're fucking full of shit. And it's just so crazy to watch people worship them and believe in them and stuff like that. It's like, man, God, I can't wait till it's all out there, man. I just can't wait. And it's going to be hard. Like, these people are going to all be really devastated. But it's like, man, you got to start seeing truth. And so much of the truth is their own biases, their own perspectives and stuff. That's what's going to get hard. It's because they're going to have such a hard, deep look at themselves. And you can see it coming, man. And there's just so much hatefulness. But another thing, too, what he's doing, like I said that this is going to be going. I don't know how long it's going to go. I don't know how it's all going to play out. I can't give details. I can just give, like, these lump things, like, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And I could probably go in and try and look real. But even if I could go in and look and see, oh, it's going to play out this way. There's billions of people. It's going to play out a billion different ways. It's not just one way it's going to play out. These people get focused on this, you know, these prophecies and stuff. And then you're looking at an outcome of like one individual possibly. You know, it's not, there's billions of outcomes happening. And so anyways, I can say these lump things, but I can't say, oh, well, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. That can be one group or one person. And then you know, this other one's going to have it go this other way. And this one's going to have it go this way. I can just say that we're going into these certain things, like this awakening, which connects you to your orb inside, that is trying to communicate, trying to, through, it's like in a prison. It's like it's the people have put their own orb in a prison, and so they have to break down the walls of deceit, the walls of disregard, the walls of anger. There's a lot, and people are justified in their things. I mean, you're carrying a lot of baggage from life after life after life after life, man. So you're carrying a lot of baggage. So don't feel bad if, like, God, I'm so angry. It doesn't take anything. I'm just angry. Just learn how to, you know, to control your anger, to not to succumb to it, you know, to learn how to look at it and analyze yourself and try and figure out how to get better control of your emotions, because that is a part of all this stuff. That's a part of this evolution. But one of the things I had said is this: we're going to go into this all one society kind of thing. We're going to look at ourselves more as human beings or earthlings or something. We're not going to be so subcategory. We're not going to be under flags of differentiating us. There'll be different cultures. There'll be different people from different places. Oh yeah, this movie I watched yesterday. It was a true story. I'll tell it in a sec. That, oh yeah, I saw this. Okay. Because I saw this other one last night, and it was just fucking pissing me off. Because the judicial system is such a fucking nonsense. Oh yeah, because I watched one with Beau Bridges, and he was a lawyer, and this guy, just cold blood, like whatever, this guy who had done his daughter in through a very violent ending, and went through court and stuff, and the courts let him off on those things like, well, you know, we can't do anything about it because they didn't read him his Miranda rights at 8:05 or whatever the fucking shit. And so they let this guy off. And one of their things in the Supreme Court had said is, so if a criminal is already presently in a criminal case, so they are in a criminal thing, already on probation or whatever for a crime, and they go commit another crime, then they can't be held accountable for a confession, because you have to have their original lawyer has to be there. So you can't have them come in and confess. So they can come in and confess, yeah, I did that. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. Because our judicial said, well, no, he would have to have his original attorney there. That's the only right way to do this. So they're let people off on this bullshit. And so, and that could be a big thing, what's happening with all these informants, you know, just out there slaughter, going, oh, well, go at it. See you later. It's like fucking bullshit, man. Like, it is part of this exposing about, like, the crimes and stuff is the people who are letting the crimes happen to us and stuff. I'm like, man, watching that movie, I was like, fucking judges, like, fuck off with this shit. And these fucking people are ruling. Fuck off with this shit, man. I was, oh. And so Bo Bridges starts trying to expose the flaws in our judicial system to get the guy off. Because the guy wants to be held accountable for what he's done. He's like, no, I'm not getting off on insanity or anything. I was sane as a motherfucker. This is bullshit. So that's when Bo Bridges started going more with that to expose the truth. He even called a judge up on the stand and he was telling all that stuff about the Supreme Court and stuff, like Rogers versus County or whatever the fuck it is that they base all their shit on. Because one dumbass does something and it's just so annoying. Our fucking judicial is such a joke. Such a joke. And then the next one that popped up was Anne, I think her name was Ann Jillian. I haven't seen her in a long while. But she was popular back, I think, in the 80s or 90s. She was one of those bleach blonde girls. And I mean, I watched Lifetime movies, so she was popular on there, I guess. But anyways, so she is playing, and this pisses me off too. There's been so many of these movies. There's one where the woman, she was dating a guy who smoked weed. And when he got busted, they busted her. She was a mom with kids dating this guy who smoked weed. And this is when it was illegal all over the place, like when they were making it like a federal fucking crime. Goddamn plant. And so they come bust through her house, search it, arrest this motherfucker, put her in jail for like 5 or 6 years, get her on all this stuff like trafficking, weed, like it was mental. It was so fucking mental. And that just pissed me off. And I saw that one a long while ago. This one, so this lady, she, and I don't know where it's coming. I don't know if where it's coming from, but there's this information that I had that was flooding in of these different women. And I don't know if because when I worked at the prison, it wasn't that long, but how many women, and I didn't work at a women's prison, but how many women are in prison for crimes of being in the car while their boyfriend's robbing a bank or something, like crazy fucking shit. And these women, just for like being with the wrong guy, getting involved with the wrong guy, are in prison. And then they take their kids, man. And so this one was Ann Jillian, and so she did do a dumbass thing. She's with this schizo, and you could just feel how skeezy he was, but fucking, like, no judgment, girl. No judgment, I get it. And so she, he had a scheme. He was going to get some money, and he was owed a bunch of money to these people. And so they came and they were beating him up, and so she goes and helps him. And so his plan is, when she gets off work at the taxi company, you bring all the money here. So steal all the money from the taxi company. Instead of going to the bank and depositing, bring it here. I'm going to use it. Then I'll get my money back on Monday. Then you can take the money into the deposit. All smooth sailing or easy peasy. Of course not. You couldn't see that coming. I could see it coming, but I could understand, I guess, why she couldn't see it coming. Caught up in love. Oh, he would never do anything to hurt me. He loves me. And so he took off. And, I don't know, he was on the run from these people. He was involved in some serious crimes with these money people. So anyway, she gets busted, gets put in jail for 19 months. Then all the chaos with their kids, and they're going to take them. CPS, oh my God. It's like, these motherfuckers think they can do whatever the fuck they want. And this was a white woman. And I was like, I can't even imagine being a woman of color and having to go through this bullshit, because they're even worse to them. It's like, it's crazy. And they just take their kids, and women don't ever get to see their kids again and stuff. It's just horrible. And like a lot of the women in the prison or she was with, they were just like, well, you can't, you start thinking about your kids all the time and drive you insane. So they just have to like disconnect themselves from their kids. And it's just sad, man. Like our world, man. But all the different experiences and soul experiences, you know, because they were all supposed to play out. So all these things were supposed to play out. We were supposed to get all these experiences. But it's like, fuck, man. There's so many sad things. It's just so sad. But you do learn and you grow. And that it expands the universe. All of this knowledge and everything that we go through, our choices of how we go through it is an expansion. So even when we're stumbling and we're not doing well, it still is an expansion of learning and understanding into the universe. So, you know, it all has purpose. It all has a reason. Because that's what life is all about. And there is a purpose and a reason to being here. And which, you know, is the hidden truth of man. So mental. And so anyways, I had said about, you know, we were all going to become earthlings. I said this the other day upstairs, and oh my gosh, that was some resistance. You know, no, we're not going to be globalists, we're not going to be commies. It's like, that is all programming. Like, what would God want? Think. No. Oh, the rapture is what God wants, obviously. Just calling his people home who are... Oh. So, anyways, I was like, what? Okay. So, Donald said, hey, Canada, join us. And I don't know what the whole thing is, but they're saying so. Canada's wanting to join now. Greenland's asking to join. They want to split off from Denmark. I didn't know they were. Oh, because they're under the Denmark crown. Because all these different crowns went and took over these places. But they all end up being the same fucking families. So it's all just absolute control. But so I think Greenland's under the Dutch crown or Denmark. And then, so they want out. So they're telling Donald, well, we want to join up. So they want to become a part of the United States. And Panama, like there's some other places or something that, and that is what is going to go. That is how things are going to start going. We're going to start all coming together. All these different countries. They're all going to start being like, no, we want freedom. No, we want out of this fucking bullshit. And so everybody's going to start coming. And it's a part of, I don't know where this is coming from, but it was like something from a few years ago. But it's like Donald is going to lead us into this, but it's not so he can be the global dictator. Like what there will be, you know, the fray saying, you know, like that's what he's doing. It's like, you guys don't see what he's doing because you've got your own issues. But what he's doing is walking us into this unity, walking us into this like come together. And when he is saying outrageous things, it's so you can turn on your moral compass, so you can start thinking for yourself. And so but it's like he's leading us into that. And it's going to be like this one flag, but it's not like this globalist thing. That is very different than what this is. There's two movements. One is control and one is freedom. He's leading the freedom one. He's leading us into freedom. Freedom is independence. Freedom is sovereignty. Freedom is you being sure of yourself, knowing what it is you want and stuff. So it's very direct. It's a different road. It's a different path. And this one is very led, very controlled. And so this one is you waking up and, you know, setting your own moral compass, creating your own future, Confirmation. So, um, so there will be some kind of a flag or something that's going to be where we all come together under like earthling or human or something, and it is, but it's a representative of unity and freedom, because that is our primary goal: is unity and freedom, unity of all of us coming together in love and respect of one another, but also the freedom to be who and what we want, who we are and what we want to be and what we want to do while we're here. And then when you have people say, yeah, well, if you could just do whatever you want, people will just be killing each other, people just be raping each other, and people will be doing this. It's like, no, because through these traumas that people are going through, it gains them into the book of the rules coming on inside of them. Like the rules are coming on, they're lighting up inside of them. They won't be able to go against their own inner core once it's fired up. So then you have that, like, oh, I don't want to hurt anything. I don't want to hurt another living thing. And that's why I say there's going to be changes in how we eat and stuff. There's going to be things that are going to be changing. And, but it's all going to go naturally. It's not going to be forced. It's all going to happen naturally as it occurs. Like, and there'll be waves of change. There'll be groups of people to change, just like what has been going on in groups. But right now it's groups waking up. But then there's going to be groups of change where we're going to start going in new directions and stuff. And but part of the thing is him trying to get people to step into leadership roles, into community building, into taking part of the world that you want to create, in the world that you want to live in, to be a part of that, to be a piece, to create it. And so that is a part of what he's also doing, is getting us to realize, like, we don't want to be under a federal government. We want to be under our own community rules, because that's what affects us. And then when we go to other places and we have respect for other communities and their rules, because that is how they want to run their city or whatever, which is going to be, it's not going to be a lot of rules. Like, things are going to be based so much more like on mutual respect. And, but there will be things like, I don't know, time keeps coming and you know, like, kind of like you go to a town and the whole town shuts down at 5 o'clock. Like, you can't go find anything in a store, and maybe at your town where you live, things stay open late because that's a part of how people like to socialize and they like to be there and talk. But another one could be like they close it down and then the restaurant's open and everybody goes out there and socializes. And it may not be restaurants, it may be like potlucks and stuff, but it may be like a whole town shuts down because they all want to get together and, you know, dance around at night and sing together and play guitar and stuff. And yours, the stores stay open late and you're used to being able to go get things whenever you want or something. It's going to be all different, but it's not like when you go to some other one, it's like you got to go with the flow of that place, not, you know, and if you're not in the vibe, you don't like it, then don't go there. You don't go in and try and change it and tell the people they're wrong and you can't do it that way. We do it way better. No, let people be who they want to be. Let towns and things become what they want to be. Let, you know, that's these groups of beings that are creating these lifestyles, these realities. Let the reality be. If you want to visit it, go visit it, but don't start trying to control it and consume it. And so that is where, you know, that's more where we're headed, of this more open thing. But it's going to be open more borders, just because of, like, to me, it's like so simple. You just got to think about, like, what would a creator want? Creator creates all this stuff. What would he want? He want us to all be caged up and controlled, or he want us to be able to go out and enjoy it and see the place and feel it and experience it? Like, what are we here for? And so all of this control that has been, you know, this, show me your papers, these are your borders, this is your flag, this is your allegiance. And especially as they're telling us where our allegiance lies and theirs is falling apart, and they're bringing in these fucking different groups and stuff to go at us. And so, which I think part of the stuff that is going on is still the light and the dark parts of the officials going against each other. So you can't just be like, oh, this is all him and stuff. And I just saw Schiff, I think it was Schiff. Maybe I'm getting Schumer and Schiff mixed up. I don't know. Yeah, because Schiff was the one the other day saying that fucking nonsense. So maybe this one was Schumer. Yeah. And this one, he's like, because of what Donald's doing now, there's not going to be avocados and Corona beer at the fucking Super Bowl. I would say prepare for the Super Bowl to be some shenanigans. Like, some shit's going to go down. And it's in New Orleans and stuff. Like, there's going to be some shit that's going to go down with that thing. There's no fucking way. If that goes off, and they're already exposing so much about the cheating. Even Tom Brady came out and said something, and there are all these lists. Oh, did you hear what he said? All this is being, it's all fucking scripted to show people. It's mind-boggling how many people still hold on to sports, still hold on to music, still hold on to this, still hold on. It's like, what the fuck? So, I've seen video after video of people like freaking out about what's going on with the sports thing. This last game, there was some cheating. Which another weird thing is some of these crashes that have happened. So it's Kansas versus Philly, I guess, in this game in New Orleans, and both of them had a crash, and then you have a lot of these things. A lot of the things that are happening at certain airport names. There's more going on, just like that helicopter was the Black Hawk, which is a tribe, and then they going against the eagle, and that's their logo. So is these powers are playing out, these energies are playing out, and everything is like a representation of everything else. So it's like a fucking horse kick in my throat. Everything is playing out this micro macro kind of thing, and so everything is playing out the way it's supposed to play out. All this stuff is happening is what's supposed to happen. All it leads us, it's weird because it's like, I don't know. It's like, okay. It's like the Wizard of Oz, like in the Gold Trail thing. And, okay, that's what it is to be leading the group, or to be a leader in the group, is that you're in the front so you can see more. You can see more, and you can see more back. But the ones behind, they're only seeing what is right there, so they are not putting it all together. But once you start understanding, is like, these are all the things that happen. These are all the things that play out to get us to where we're going. So all these things play out to get us to where we're going. And where we're going is, like I've said, is a place of freedom. It's a place of, not being an American, not being Dutch, not being, you would be more of your culture. So, and they're going to bring more of that in too. That's why some of these places are opening up their citizenship to your heritage. So whatever's in your heritage, you can go be a citizen there. But it's going to keep falling. All of the containments are going to fall away. And everything is going to go into more of this, like I said, like earthling or something. But when I said that to my mom, and she was like, no way, that is not, like, that's ridiculous. It's like, I'm telling you, this is what... It's like, okay, well, I guess I can see it, because I'm not leaving in the rapture. I'm staying for this part, so I can see it. And so there's that is the energy that we're going into. This global citizenship, but not under a regime. He's going to be leading the way, is like a band leader leading a parade or something. But then he is he's gonna not fade away or step down. He's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna be, it's not gonna be dramatic. It'll be like a figurehead, you know. It's not gonna be like people are all of a sudden not gonna want it. He's gonna stay. As long as he stays, he's gonna stay popular. He's gonna stay, you know, where he comes to your town, people are gonna be like, oh, come over to my house and have coffee. Hey, everybody's gonna want to talk to him and stuff. He's gonna be adored. He's gonna be a figure that, you know, people are going to want to have represented. People are going to look at it as like he came in and showed us the freedom that we could have. He came in and took down these people and gave us opportunities and stuff. So he's going to be revered as the future goes on as a really good figure. But he's not going to stay in this, you know, well, Donald says all of us will go into our sectors and, you know, like, you're not bringing in the Hunger Games or something. he's showing us the possibilities or something. And but that's where it's going. So all of these things, you know, like, oh, Greenland now, they want to, it's all a splitting apart from the church and the crown. Is what we're having a lot. And the corporation is an extension. And the corporation is so fucking mindless, so fucking heartless. It's so toxic for us. So, in supporting it, it supports these fucking monsters, man. You've got to pull free. You've got to be some things where you're like, yeah, well, I really like these products. But you've got to choose what's right. Choose not to support the monsters. Choose not to be poisoned every fucking day. Like, you know, when we start all making those choices is when things change. We support them. We keep them alive. We keep this shit alive. And but it's also, that's a part of why there's going to be this. It will be dramatic on some of this stuff. Some of this taking down certain things, certain people, certain groups, certain people going to the get and stuff. There's going to be a lot of drama. There's going to be a lot of drama. Because, man, there's just so many things, though. So many people that stand out. Even watching those movies with the lawyers and stuff. Like, there's going to be so many people that were just going against you and and they're involved in, there's just going to be a lot. Developers, realtors, people involved with money. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be going. Medical, like, that's going to be a big one. And that's already getting started too. Like, that's going to keep on just pockets of information are going to keep opening up and opening up. It's going to become all these things are going to become very elaborate, but they're all going to weave together, and it's all going to start showing, you know, like BlackRock or whatever. It's all going to start showing like it's the same fucking people. Is that we've been under this globalist fucking bullshit. And so that we're moving out of that to a stage of independence, but you have to be comfortable, and so many people are not. So many people are so dependent on a lot of different things: the media, the government, the medical, the money. There's just a huge dependency, and so and they can't just drop it all at once because it would be so much chaos. So it's like a slow pulling it free. So it's slowly pulling us all free off of all this stuff. And before I run out of time, I want to say on this other movie, because this movie was really blowing my mind. And it had to do with these different cultures. So this is a true story. Apparently it was more recent. And so a woman, and she had her own issues, for sure. You got to heal your issues. You can't just carry them on. You got to heal your shit, man. So she had a son who was killed in a car wreck when he was a teenager. And so then she ends up having another kid, but that kid is young. And so her son would have been 35. And the daughter that she had now is like 16. the daughter who she has, and this happens a lot when somebody loses one child, they become hyper fixated on the other one, of like can't let anything happen to them and stuff. And so it changes the dynamics, and there's definite repercussions from losing one child, and then there's things that naturally occur. It's better to have awareness of it because you get caught up like this woman. And so she got super caught up, and she was going to a tarot reader all the time. She would fucking go every day, need an update on what's going to happen today. You can't, that's not what it's about. You can't just go to the cards and have them tell you how to play the day out and stuff. The cards are more to confirm to you what you feel or what you think. And so what your guidance is, then you do the cards, and it's more of a signature, it's more of a confirmation, it's more of a communication from the other side of saying, so you can kind of understand your own communication. But to go to the cards and think like the cards are going to tell you, So anyways, she was super caught up in that. And the woman she'd been going to was for 20 years. She'd been going ever since her kid had died, I guess. And so her daughter, she did not trust at all. And so this woman was Mexican Catholic, I think, and very, very cultural, strict on religion, all that stuff. And her daughter got this boyfriend. Well, the cards start saying this one thing, and she's going to marry this guy and stuff. The woman got so involved in her daughter's relationship. It was disturbing. It was like, what in the hell? Like, she would call the boyfriend. She was constantly telling him stuff. It was crazy. And she was consumed. And this boy was like from a rich family. He had all this drive and success. He was popular and stuff. And so she was like, oh, they're getting married. Her daughter's 17. And she kept being like, well, my husband and I, we were married by the time we were 19. Like, that's just the way it is. You meet in high school, you fall in love, you get married, and that's the way it is. And so, but, this girl, this daughter, she was a lot more like American and a lot more like, well, no, that's not the way it is. And I don't know that I want to get married. I don't know what, and the mom would just keep thinking she was crazy. So she kept on interfering in the girl's life, trying to direct it from the inside, which was so insane, to the point where the girl ends up, she has sex with this boy. So he deflowers her. And then she tells her mom, that's why she's so upset when they break up. And the mom freaks the fuck out. And she goes and hires a hitman. And so she gets charged. She's in prison for doing it. And I don't know, it's always based on the true story, but they always take like a little fluctuation in there to make drama. And so I don't know what parts are dramatized and which parts are facts, but she ends up, getting busted because there was like so many things. And so she goes to prison. And then even when her daughter went to try and visit her and ask her, tell me the truth. And she just kept lying to her. And so the daughter was like, I'm done. You're not my mom. I don't even, because the woman was so off. You've got to work on your issues and stuff. Otherwise, like I said, you start bleeding out into other people's lives. And so many people do it through their kids and stuff. And you got to, everybody's here to have a experience. Everybody's here to learn from each other and stuff. And you can't interfere like that. Otherwise, then you put everything out of balance. Like that woman, but everything's going to happen the way it's going to happen. So, it's going to happen that way. It's not like, she could change it. And that's what they're here to experience. That's what they're here to play out. And so that's what's going to play out. So anyways, I'm running out of time. And I might go, it's either going to be today or tomorrow because my mom's running out of cat food. So we got to go. And she was on the Friskies, which she said her cats quit eating it. They wouldn't eat the Friskies. And I said, oh, I've been seeing that for a long time. Yeah, Friskies, something's wrong with it. Everybody's saying that. But she would believe me when I said that. But and so she got off of that. But now she's trying to be like, oh my God, all the other food is so... She didn't know how cheap the Friskies was apparently compared to the others. And so it's costing way more, and she's running out of food. The cans are smaller and stuff. So Friskies was the discount that they're trying to actively kill our pets. Like, there's no doubt about that. And they are actively out to kill us all. And then people are having lumps of sickness. And I saw a girl who was in the ER, and she's like, I have these symptoms. I'm dizzy. I'm feeling faint. All these things. And she said, I'm sitting here in the ER. I've heard 3 other people come in with the same symptoms. I told her in the comments, you know, it's what you're breathing in. You know, go look up the side effects of aerosol poisoning. Like, you're gonna see. And people just don't... I don't understand how you can't look at that sky and see, like, this is what's making everybody sick. It's just like, where is the connection in people's minds, man? It's like, it's tripping me out. Like, what is... It's so weird. People are so out of reality and focused on what it is they focus on. I don't know. It trips me out. It's kind of spooky. So, anyways, let's take a look at the tooth. It is looking like this tissue is like keeps growing, like it's doing this gray, orange, like I had said that it was gonna do. That's what definitely, that seems to be a process of growing the tooth part, the white part back. Is you got to get the stuff inside, the fibers and stuff have got to grow. So anyways, that's it looks way better to me. And then let me think. So I may go do the recording today. It depends. And yesterday, you know, get up in the morning, it's all snowy, but then it's the whole day it melts off and stuff. And so then it was all clear last night, and I get up this morning, it's all snowy again. And so I don't know what the roads are going to be like, but she has a 4-wheel drive. And if she needs cat food, we're going to have to go out. But I'm going to do my download whenever I go. And Friday, I'm definitely going shopping. I cannot wait till Friday and order the Starlink, man. I get started on that and just get more in the routine. It's, I don't know, it's weird because I'll do this and I'm normally put it on and then I'll talk to people. Like, it just, everything feels so off. Everything feels so off. Everything is like this. It's just this huge shifts in our reality and stuff, and it's so trippy. I know I've got to be other people out there who are talking to people, and especially people, you know, who think they're awake or thought they were awake and stuff like that. I just saw a girl who was talking, and I haven't seen all these videos, but she said, man, the spiritual people on TikTok are really freaking the fuck out, man. And you're seeing all the people freaking out. And she said it's so weird. It's because it's like they're not awake. They think they're so awake, but they're not awake at all. And it's like, what have I been saying? And she said that they keep, she said they don't even look into things. And she said that she said maybe they're awake to spirituality and maybe they understand that, but they don't understand anything else about what's going on. And that's why I've said there's like these different groups. And I've said for a long time, the spiritual is very blue, and they and they don't they don't see stuff. But also, I'm not going to say they're all spiritually awake, because I hear them say stuff that I think is fucking nonsense all the time. To me, they're stuck in their 3-dimensional spirituality of ego, and they don't look into things and stuff. And, you know, they may form their connections, but, you know, who you talking to? How are they, you know, what are they telling you? Because obviously these people are not on the right chain. They're not on the right call, because they were all very focused on division and stuff. Because, you know, to me, some of this stuff is just, I don't know. It's obvious, like, but also, you know, I have a spiritual background. And so what I've noticed is, you know, these people who wake up spiritually, it's like, it's not, you got to go out and to learn. You got to go out and learn about things. You got to go out and do research. You got to try and understand things, and especially in your communication. You better know who the fuck you're talking to. You better be able to start reading the energy. I mean, there's a lot of dark energy around here that's misleading people like a bitch, man. So you gotta really be paying attention and use your discernment. Like, is it divisive? Is it keeping people trapped? Is it you just gotta look at things. So anyways, but we're gonna keep going towards this humanity becoming free beings, and what it all looks like as it all plays out. And this is what it looks like. It's pretty hairy. It's pretty intense. And there is so much of it was such a huge vision to me of people holding on. And I kept saying, as this all plays out, people got to let go. You can't hold on. It's going to be hard if you hold on. But now I see the holding on. I see that, oh, this is the best. Well, I got to have this. Well, we got to do this. It's and there's way more going on with the planes and stuff. There's airports closing down. There's flights being canceled. There's some psychic lady who's saying that by the end of February, they're going to stop all air travel. We're not even going to be able to travel by air for some period of time, which to me would be out of safety. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot more going on than just whatever. There's something with our atmosphere. There's something going on. And it's not safe. I mean, planes are fucking going down. They're just flying, going down all over the place. Big one in South Korea. A whole bunch of people just died, and I'm going way over my time. So, anyways, just remember what we're doing here. And it's not easy. To learn how to love yourself. That's hard. That's hard business, man. Learning how to love yourself. Love everyone. It's just another step in the whole thing. And to learn how to have a good day, a loving day. Because it's you. It's you. It's your energy. It's what you're looking at. It's what you're putting out into the world. That is up to you. And it makes a difference over how your day goes. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.